So far, we have studied the first two types of vacuum pump. The two type means based on the first two basic principles. The first one, that is positive displacement pumps. We have studied two examples, the rotary vane pump and the roots pump. In the second type, that is the momentum transfer pump, we have studied three types of pumps. The first one, molecular drag pump. The second one, that is turbomolecular pump, and third one, oil diffusion pump. So after this, today we are going to study the third basic principle of operation of vacuum pumps, that is capture pumps. So let us study some of the types of the vacuum pumps of this type, that is capture pumps. Now in this particular type, the first one is gator pump. Now the word gator means to react with. Now in capture pumps, in the introduction I have told you that these types of pumps works on the principle of certain type of chemical or physical reaction with the gas molecules where they are captured inside the vacuum chamber. So the first type we are going to discuss here is gator pumps. Now gator means react with. Gator pump uses chemical action to capture the gas molecules. Some of the metals like molybdenum, niobium, tantalum, zirconium, aluminum and titanium, they are surface getter for active gases. Surface getter means what? Anyhow you have to deposit. There should be some mechanism so that they can be deposited on the inner surface of your vacuum chamber, and the gas molecules present in the vacuum chamber, they can react on the metal which is acting as a getter on the surface of the vacuum chamber, and there they are captured. So they become the active surface of a vacuum pump when they are deposited on the surface of in a thin layer form. So such thin layer of these active metals form on the inner surface of a vacuum pump, that is called as a surface getter. So this is the important term, what is known as surface getter. The active gases which are present inside the chamber, they will react with the getter to form surface compound. So it is a chemical action. The gas molecule will form some chemical compound with the metal, one of these metal which is used as a surface getter in the vacuum chamber. One of the property of these surface getter or the getter mechanism is that if you cool these surface getter, then that will enhance the sticking coefficient of a surface getter. Now what is the sticking coefficient? The pumping speed of surface getter is actually defined by a sticking coefficient of a gas on the surface. So sticking means, you know that the gas molecule, when it comes to the surface getter, so it gets stuck with the surface. Okay, so the degree or the level, or what we call as the ability of the molecule to get stuck with the surface of the getter, you can define in terms of certain coefficient, that is called as sticking coefficient. So if it is high, then definitely that gas molecule will be sticking with the surface and it will get a chance to react chemically in order to form the chemical compound, so that it will be captured on the surface. So this is what the pumping speed will be defined or determined by the sticking coefficient. Now if you cool this surface getter, that will enhance this sticking coefficient, that means obviously it will increase the pumping speed. So this is one of the important parameter. Cooling enhances the sticking coefficient of the surface getter. Okay, so just like surface getter, there are also other type of getter which is known as a bulk getter. Bulk getter means what? The actual active metal, one of the active metal which is used as a getter, it is in a bulk form. Instead of having a thin layer as we have discussed earlier, here we have a bulk material. So when this bulk material, getter material is used, then it will called as a bulk getter. Now the difficulty with operation of this bulk getter is that they should be operated at some elevated temperature. So why they should be operated at elevated temperature? So you can imagine that when the gas molecule comes to this bulk getter, so they will react on the surface of the bulk getter to form a surface compound. So later on, as the number of gas molecules reacts with the bulk getter, so its entire surface will be covered by the surface compound, and later on the efficiency of pumping will go on decreasing, because later on there will be no space available on the surface of bulk getter for reacting the new gas molecules which are coming to it. So how to avoid that? So it can be avoided by keeping the bulk getter at certain elevated temperature. Okay, so what will happen if you have elevated temperature? So at this elevated temperature, the surface compound tend to undergo dissolution and diffusion. So whatever the surface compound form, they will be either undergo a dissolution or a diffusion. So diffusion means they will go deep into the bulk getter material, or they will be buried deep into the bulk getter material. So this way the bulk getter difficulty that can be solved by operating them at certain elevated temperature. One of the types that we are going to study as a getter pump is titanium sublimation pump. So it is a surface getter pump. So getter pump, they can be divided into two types. Either they will be surface getter or they will be called as a bulk getter pump, depending on whether you have used surface getter material or bulk getter material. Now one of the important metal, titanium, if it is used as a surface getter, then that pump is called as titanium sublimation pump. So it is a type of surface getter type of pump. Then the other type where bulk getter material is used, that is called as non-evaporable getter pump, NEG pump. So here we are using bulk getter pump. Now the study of titanium sublimation pump is included in your syllabus. Now why titanium is most suitable metal out of those all the different metals earlier we have discussed, that is molybdenum, niobium, then zirconium, aluminum and so on, tantalum. So titanium is the best choice because it can be sublimed at much lower temperature. Sublime means, you know that any material when heated, instead of going into first liquid phase, if it directly goes to the vapor phase, then we say that it is sublime or sublimation process. So the titanium will be sublimed at much lower temperature than most of the other metals. Therefore this is chosen. Then other important characteristics or properties, that it is inexpensive, easily available, and pumps a large number of gases. So whatever the gases present inside the chamber, number of gases can be pumped with the help of titanium. So titanium is the best suited metal to act as a surface getter. Okay, so let us now study the titanium sublimation pump, how it works and what is the basic principle of operation of the titanium sublimation pump, that all we are going to study here. Okay, so you can see this diagram first of all. So in this diagram you can see this particular filament, you can say. So this filament is actually the titanium sublimator. So the titanium wire is held here, and there are some electrical heating coils, and their connections are brought outside here, you can see here. So simultaneously 3 or 4 such titanium wires, they are already placed into the vacuum pump assembly, that is the titanium sublimation pump. So they can be operated one by one. So why we need 3 or 4, that we shall discuss later on. So this is the titanium sublimator. This is the baffle. This is the entire, we can say, the chamber here. So the walls of this particular chamber, and the portion of the chamber, it is isolated here. You can see isolation valve is there, because initially you cannot directly start pumping with the help of titanium sublimation pump. Some roughing pump is needed there. That means initially you have to bring down the pressure to certain level. So for that, once you bring with the help of some roughing pump, which is not shown over here, so for that, meanwhile it will be isolated. Your titanium sublimation pump will be isolated. So therefore this is the isolation wall, and this is the space where actually initially you have to create a certain low pressure, and this is the auxiliary pump. And there are certain cooling mechanism, just like water cooling or liquid nitrogen coolant is circulated over here on the walls of this particular titanium sublimation pump. So this is the actual structure or mechanism of this titanium sublimation pump. Let us see now how it works. So just now I have told you that this is the filament here, which is the actual metal, just like titanium metal. So an alternating current hits this filament, which sublimes the titanium and deposits it on adjacent walls. So initially when the supply is on this titanium wire, it will be sublimed, it will be sublimated, and the vapors, they will condense on the surface of this particular chamber. So it will form a thin layer of titanium. Now this thin layer of titanium, which is formed on the walls of this chamber, that will act as a surface getter. Now the pump elements are fabricated with 3 or 4 separately heated filaments. So like this, instead of having only single filament, 3 or 4 such filaments are actually present here, so that the extended the time between the filament replacement, that can be avoided. So suppose you want to continue this process, one filament will not be sufficient and you will need another filament. So loading time will waste or the pumping time will increase. So in order to avoid that, you can have simultaneously 3 or such filament, 4 filament, which can continue the process of pumping without being interrupted for the time required to replace the filament. Okay, so the active gases, they come in contact with the surface and they will be chemically forming certain compounds on the surface of titanium. So these molecules will be captured here on the surface of this what we call as the vacuum chamber. So active gases are captured on the fresh titanium surface, which is cooled with water or liquid nitrogen. So that arrangement I have not shown here, but there is some cooling arrangement, like water is circulated on the walls or a liquid nitrogen arrangement is made. Okay, so you know that when a thin layer is formed, gas molecules will come over here, it will form a chemical compound like this. So after some time you will find that this surface is entirely covered with the compounds formed by these gas molecules. So later on the efficiency of pumping will decrease. So what is required is that a fresh titanium layer must be deposited periodically to ensure continuous pumping. So if you want to continue the pumping further, so periodically the fresh titanium must be deposited onto the surface. So periodically this sublimation process must be operated here. Okay, so the pumping characteristics of titanium, it differ for the gas molecules. So depending on the different categories of gas molecules, you can categorize these gas molecules in 3 groups. So accordingly, the titanium pumping characteristics will be different for these 3 groups. Which are these 3 groups? You can categorize these gas molecules in 3 groups, like active gases, then intermediate gases, and chemically inactive gases. So which are active gases? Active gases like carbon oxide or oxygen, water vapor, acetylene. These are some examples of active gases. So these active gases, they are pumped with high sticking coefficient. Their sticking coefficient is very high, so easily they will react with titanium surface and they will form the compounds. So their pumping speed is quite good. Their sticking coefficient is high. Water vapor actually dissociates into oxygen and hydrogen, which are then pumped separately. So this is the first category of the gas molecules, that is active gases. Whereas some of the gas molecules which are known as intermediate gases, their sticking coefficient is low, slightly low as compared to the active gas molecules. Examples like hydrogen or nitrogen. So at room temperature, their sticking coefficient is low. So they cannot be pumped easily at room temperature. But it is found that if you cool this surface, then definitely at certain temperature like 77 degree Kelvin, the sticking coefficient increases. Therefore, they can form the chemical compounds easily and the pumping speed improves. So for such intermediate molecules, what is required is that cooling of the surface. So therefore, with the help of nitrogen, liquid nitrogen, you can cool the surface up to 77 degree Kelvin, so that the sticking coefficient improves and the pumping speed continues, or it will be better for these intermediate gases. Now there is third category of the gas molecules, which are chemically inactive gases. That means, you know, that noble gases, helium, argon, such particular gas molecules, they are chemically inactive. So they cannot react with the titanium which is present on the surface of the vacuum chamber. So they are not going to form any compound with this titanium, and they cannot be pumped. So we cannot pump such chemically inactive gas molecules with the help of titanium sublimation pump. This is, you can say, limitation, and that is why we need here auxiliary pump. I will tell you about why we need this auxiliary pump. So in order to pump these inactive gases, the titanium sublimation pump is not able to pump these molecules. Therefore, we need auxiliary pump, just like sputter ion pump, which is able to, later on we are going to study that sputter ion pump also. So that is auxiliary pump. That is the function of auxiliary pump. Then another gas molecule like methane, it has a characteristic that it is inactive gas, and at certain lower temperature up to 77 Kelvin, the slightly its sticking coefficient can be improved so that it can be absorbed on the titanium surface. But still, that is not the efficient way to pump with the help of titanium sublimation pump. Further, you can say the replacement of one previously sought gas molecule by another gas molecule, that can also take place here. So suppose one gas molecule, it is stuck over here on the surface of the gator material, that means just like titanium here. Another molecule will come here and it will replace the earlier molecule, and that will try to form a chemical compound. So replacement of earlier stuck molecule by another molecule. For example, oxygen is a very active gas molecule, oxygen. So it can replace any other gas molecule. So that things are also happening here. So definitely the pumping speed for oxygen, that will be greater, and for other gas molecules it will be slightly lower. There are certain molecules which are so inactive that any other gas molecule can replace them. For example, methane is that particular gas molecule, so which is bound by a very weak forces like van der Waals forces. Therefore, it can be replaced by all other active gases. This titanium sublimation pump, as I have told you earlier in the diagram, it actually operates below 10 raised to -1 Pascal. So therefore, initially roughing is required here. Therefore, the isolation valve is there. Initially, the roughing pump is connected over here, and the pressure inside this chamber is brought up to certain pressure of the order of 10 raised to -1 Pascal, and then this valve can be closed and you can start with the titanium sublimation pump. So why we need this? Because above that pressure, surface compound formation that will inhibit the sublimation process, and therefore the surface getter cannot be formed above this pressure. Therefore, we need to bring that pressure up to this level, 10 raised to -1 Pascal. Okay, so the certain advantages of the titanium sublimation pump. One of the advantages that these getter pumps, they are free from any oil vapor and are attractive for applications where an ultra clean, non-contaminating environment is essential. So as we have seen, there is no oil or lubricant is involved here, so they are very clean. Actually, there are no moving part, rotating part, so they are non-contaminating. And in such environment where in such applications where we need very ultra clean environment, you can use this titanium sublimation pump. Just now earlier we have discussed one of the limitation, that they cannot pump chemically inactive gases. So it is not a standalone pump. Standalone means all gases can be removed by such pump. That is a standalone pump. So therefore we always need an auxiliary pump such as putter iron pump. Earlier also I have mentioned that. So an auxiliary pump is needed to remove any remaining non-getterable gases such as helium, neon, argon, methane, like this. This particular getter pump, its application in certain specific application like photomultiplier tube. You know that photomultiplier tube is a very important type of optical sensor, photo sensor, very high efficiency. So these particular tubes, they can be evacuated, or the pressure inside them can be brought to certain level of vacuum with the help of such titanium sublimation pump and other sealed tubes to remove the gases.